Hello dear students. Today we will discuss about independent component analysis. This is another method we can apply to remove artifacts in EEG signal. So in signal processing, this independent component analysis, that is generally abbreviated as ICA, is a computational method for separating a multivariate signal into additive subcomponents. This is done by assuming that the subcomponents are non-Gaussian signals and that they are statistically independent from each other. It is a special case of blind source separation, that is BSS. A common example application of independent component analysis is the cocktail party problem of listening in on one's person's speech in a noisy room. Independent component analysis attempts to decompose a multivariate signal into independent, as I mentioned, non-Gaussian signals. For example, sound is usually a signal that is composed of the numerical addition at each time t of signals from various sources. So, when the statistical independence assumption is correct, the blind ICA separation of a mixed signal gives very good results. It is also used for signals that are not supposed to be generated by mixing for analysis purposes. A simple application of ICA, as I mentioned, is cocktail party problem, where the underlying speech signals are separated from a sample data consisting of people talking simultaneously in a room. Usually the problem is simplified by assuming no time delays or echoes. Note that a filtered and delayed signal is a copy of a dependent component, and thus the statistical independence assumption is not violated. So what is this blind source separation or cocktail party problem? Speech signals from different speakers recorded using many sensors. And if I talk about EEG signals here, means that the signal, because we are receiving and recording from many channels. So that is basically we are considering many sensors. So the problem is to separate the voices of individual speakers. So ICA is a tool for blind source separation, and we have to assume some, we have to make basically some assumptions about the sources. Sources are statistically independent. Measured signals are linear mixture of source signals, and propagation delays of the mixing medium are negligible. And number of sensors is normally greater than or equal to the number of independent sources. So these are the assumptions we have to make when we have to separate the different sources. This is a basic independent component analysis model. So as you can see, this vector S is source signals. This vector A is n cross n mixing matrix. Then we have x1 to xnt, that is x vector, that is measured mixed signals. And we have W, which is a demixing matrix. Again, it is n cross n. And finally, we have S cap vector, that is the vector of estimated source signals. ICA algorithms can be applied to EEG for artifact removal. There are a number of methods based on this concept, and they are researched by many of the researchers. So we'll discuss one or two of that in this lecture. So what is the methodology for artifact removal using this technique? As you can see, we have seen the block diagram. So we have different sources S1 to Sm. Then we are mixing that in a mixing matrix. We are applying this independent component analysis algorithm to estimate these source signals. And then we have to identify the artifact visually or automatically that we have already discussed. And finally, we have to remove the artifact to produce the original signal. So this is one example of ocular artifact, which is contaminated EEG recording. These are from different channels, as you can see, and we have applied this ICA using JADE algorithm. You can see this one of this algorithm, joint approximate diagonalization of eigenmatrices. This is one ICA based algorithm. So we have applied, and you can see the outputs for that. Then we have one another approach, that is Kalman filter cycle or Kalman filter algorithm or Kalman predictor algorithm. So Kalman filtering is a process of implementing a set of mathematical equations which implements a predictor character type estimator that is optimal in the sense that it minimizes the estimated error covariance when some pre-assumed conditions are met. And it provides an efficient computational means to estimate the state of a process. This filter is very powerful in several aspects. Mainly, it supports estimation of past, present, and even future states, and it can do so even when the precise nature of the model system is unknown. So you can see this is showing ongoing discrete Kalman filter cycle. So it can predict the future state, and then it will compute Kalman gain. It will correct the future state, correct error covariance, and again it will predict error covariance, and finally it will again predict the future state. So this time update, or we can say predictor equations, project the current state estimate ahead in time. The measurement update, that is character equations, adjust the projected estimate by an actual measurement at that time. So this is showing the block diagram of proposed automatic ocular artifact removal system using JADE algorithm and Kalman predictor. So we have recorded EEG, then we are applying JADE algorithm on that. Here we are using Kalman predictor, which is also using automatic or adaptive auto-regressive model, and by that we are calculating Kalman gain equation, and then we are calculating the mean square error, and finally we are classifying the independent components. So these independent components which are obtained using JADE are tracked using a Kalman predictor, which is embedded with adaptive autoregressive model. The order of the predictor and the update coefficients determines the performance of the predictor in estimating the signal, and these parameters are selected based on the minimum mean square error obtained. Now, what are the different matrices for evaluating the performance of the classifier? We have sensitivity, specificity, and average detection rate. So sensitivity is a measure of ability of the classifier to detect electroocular components. Specificity is a measure of the ability of the classifier to specify the EEG components. And then is the average detection rate, which is average of sensitivity and specificity. Then we have the metrics for evaluating the performance of ocular artifact removal methodologies. We have in this time domain plots, the contaminated EEG signal and the corrected EEG are compared by inspecting their visual appearance of the time domain plots for each channel data. And here we have to ensure the retainment of underlying brain signal and to visualize the minimization of the amplitude of the ocular artifact. Then we have another measure, that is similarity measure. It calculates the difference between a segment of ocular artifact free EEG data before and after correction, in which the difference is measured by the similarity of two waveforms, and it is defined by, as you can see, this equation. Both of these matrices or metrics ensure that the observations are faithfully reconstructed in time domain, both in terms of subjective visual inspection and objective performance metrics. Then we have another parameter, that is power spectral density plot. So spectral plot in the lower frequency bands, mainly 0 to 13 Hz, should be reduced and the higher frequency band should not be affected. So power spectral density plots helps us to check whether the power of the spectral components of ocular artifacts has been reduced and whether the high frequency components are exactly preserved. Then we have frequency correlation plot. It provides the correlation between the contaminated EEG and the corrected EEG. So you can see this formula which is used to compute this correlation between contaminated and the corrected EEG. The low frequency spectrum should be less correlated and the high frequency spectrum should be highly correlated. This we can see in the graph. As you can see, it is showing the time domain plot, power spectral density plot, and frequency correlation plot. So we have considered in this a 10-second EPO. This red plot indicates the EEG with artifact, and this red plot here in both these shows the corrected EEG. And we can also show this we can also see this frequency correlation plot. Same thing we can see by considering 1 second EPO, as you can see. So this blue one is the, you can say, the EEG with artifact, and this red one is corrected EEG. Here also you can see the time domain plot, power spectral density plot, and frequency correlation plot. So for now, thank you.